Hey guys, this is Eric Weingartner with Weingartnerracing. Today's video is probably going to have cussing in it. Why am I telling you this? Because I know some people are very sensitive to cussing. In real life, I cuss. YouTube demonetized you for it, but in this one, I don't give a shit. I want this challenge out there. This is the video. I never tell you hardly ever, I don't think I've ever said it actually, share this video. Share the shit out of it. Share it to every camshaft guru, internet guru on camshafts, or anybody that thinks they're good on camshafts. Share this video. Tell them, you think you're good? Why don't you just prove it? Because that's what this video is about. So to follow up from last video, I did a camshaft test on the LS, and several people were like, well, that's not an LSA test. It wasn't meant to be. I never said it was. I said tighter LSA and other stuff, because when I first did the testing on the LS, several people in the comments had said you need more duration, gave it. Tighter lobe separation, gave it. Less split between intake and exhaust, gave it. And then I did that test because if you happen to send in a camshaft that matched that, and I showed you the results. But it was at that time when I was reading the comments, I realized everybody on the internet's a camshaft expert. I mean, everybody. So then I got to thinking, if there was only some way that we could prove that. And then I realized I can. So just a little caveat here. Some people actually, when the comments are very intelligent, I have to say that too, because several people had said the LSA and ending your duration aren't that. It's the opening time, opening events and closing events on the valve that actually make up your camshaft. Really what they're doing is they're working in a reverse way, by the way, when they say that stuff, to determine where your cam should open the valve and where it should close the valve. And those actually affect duration and lobe separation. They're absolutely correct, and it's a very intelligent way of saying that. But not all people work that way. They actually work the way backwards with the duration and lobe separation. But they are 100% correct that way. And you might say, why don't you ever do it that way then? In the comments, I had no less than 5 people that thought the tighter lobe separation did better, even though the graph clearly showed the opposite. So if I can't get people to understand a graph, why do you think I can get them to understand opening and closing events of a camshaft and how that affects LSA? But there are camshaft experts out there. So anyway, sorry about that little caveat there. This video is a camshaft challenge. The first I've ever heard of, because I'm doing it. I'm putting up $100 of my own money, and YouTube don't pay shit. So before you think this is YouTube money, no, this is my money. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Here's what I got. I got a 408 LS that we use for dyno testing. What I'm gonna do, here's your challenge. Here's your camshaft challenge. Anyone can send in a camshaft, and I'm gonna test that camshaft. But there's a caveat, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna test those camshafts. And whoever does the best, I'm gonna give you a $100 bill. Which you're like, that ain't nothing, the camshaft costs more than that. You're right. But if you're a camshaft expert and you got some balls, you can send in your camshaft with $100. And what's gonna happen is, you can treat this as like a racer's buy-in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I'm gonna act like a true racer at that point, like Limpy does in the race. On a buy-in, Limpy keeps part of the money for the starter or the race organizer, right? So for every $500 that gets sent in, $100 I keep. It's still not going to cover the dyno bill. The dyno bill is going to cost, for one day, it's $800. So yeah, I'm going to lose my ass, but I don't care. I want to see it happen. The rest of that money that people send in for the buy-in goes to the winner. So the minimum you could win as a camshaft expert is $100. The maximum, well, at least 10. Well, 10 maybe. Here's what I mean. The maximum camshafts I'm going to do is 10 camshafts. And I'm giving a little asterisk there. If someone wants to pay for more dyno time, I'll test 30, I'll test 40, I'll test 50 camshafts. I don't give a shit. I just don't want to pay for 4 days of dyno session and just lose my entire savings or anything money that I have just to help someone else sell some camshafts. So, but that gives more money for people to win. I will say this, if you just send in a camshaft without money, but there's 10 people that send in camshafts with $100 for the buy-in, those people are the ones getting tested, not the ones that didn't. So, unless, of course, they get more money for dyno sessions. So, if you're a camshaft company, say you're Mike Jones, which he's a good guy, by the way, Cam Motion, LSM, Texas Speed, Brian Tooley. Yes, definitely tag Brian Tooley. I think he's smart too, and his camshafts probably will be good too. But whoever, David Visor, I'm going to call it, text him anyway today. But anybody you think is just a camshaft expert, or those people that just love telling you how good and wrong your camshaft is, you tell them, send in one. This is a 4-way. I'm going to give you all the specs on the entire engine, more than a customer would ever give you, because I got the flow numbers and velocities. Shoot, I got everything, and they're going to be in this video. So you should have every bit of information. You just need to spec this thing correctly. Now, how do you win? Oh, the test will go between 4,000 and 7,000 RPM. This is a hydraulic roller camshaft. Don't send in a solid. I'm not changing my push rod length either. So it goes from 4,000 to 7,000 RPM. There are 4 data points, and you're scored by whoever does the best is first place, second place, obviously. You're ranked. So from 4,000 to 7,000 RPM, within that band, whoever has the highest horsepower, that's one rank. Whoever has the highest torque, that's another one. But there's also averages. Whoever has the best average horsepower between 4,000 and 7,000 also gets a rank. Whoever has the best average torque between 4,000 and 7,000, that's a rank. So there's 4 points. So let's say you had the highest horsepower, but you were 10th in average horsepower. You're not going to do so well. You'd probably place in the middle. You have to hit all 4. Whoever has the lowest number wins. Now, if there's a tie, I don't know what's going to happen. Probably I'll call both of them and I can just split the pot. Here's some of the other rules. You cannot exceed 660 lift because I don't want you to. So that's all up to you. You can be under that, that's fine. 660 is the max. I am going to give you the spring specs so you can hopefully do that. If you go into valve float, you're done. Because usually it takes us about 3 pulls to get the engine up to operating temp. So because every test will have the same water and oil temperature test. This way there's no cheating of the system. Same will be ran with the exact same timing too. I'm not changing timing at all. So you're stuck with what you got. But if I go to the first pull and you go to valve float, you're done. That's it. I'm not pulling you again. I'm not tearing up my motor to prove your camshaft. But anyway, that's pretty much it. The other thing is you do have to pay for return shipping. I'm not keeping the cams. So before someone says, you're just trying to get 10 camshafts. No, they absolutely can go back to you. But you do have to pay for return shipping. You have to supply a cam card. So, and those will be revealed to the viewing audience. So it's not going to be mystery camshaft. I'm not going to tell you. I'm so smart. I'm not sharing. And before you think this one, because I know it's a tempting thought, the winner's camshaft will be put on a cam doctor, which is a device that measures what it actually is as far as lift and stuff. And before you think, I don't want to give away my secret sauce, the cam doctor, I will see all the data, but the only data that I reveal to the viewers will be what was on the cam card thing. So for instance, if you're the winner, your cam card says 230 and your cam doctor says 236 duration, I'm going to tell you at 50. I'm going to tell them the 50 thousandths number, the advertised number, the lobe separation, and lift. I'm not going to tell them every little data point so they can see your ramp rate. That's not going to happen. Just what the cam card is. In other words, I'm confirming your cam card and you're not lying about what the specs are. But just for the winner. So, because no one cares what no one cares what number 2 did. But yeah, so yeah, the worst case you win 100. The best case you win way more. I have never heard of a camshaft test challenge like this ever. This test will probably take place in October. So currently it's August 22nd. You've got time. If you're interested, my email is weingartnerracing@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, which is wengines.com. There's a contact me part, and there's an address on there where you can ship in the camshaft. This is carbureted. So before you're like, oh, I don't do that, I just do fuel injection, then you ain't got no balls. This is probably the only time where you have a chance. And by the way, you might say, well, are you entering? No. Here's why. They will not have my camshaft in this test. Because one, I never said I'm the best at picking camshafts. I'm pretty good. I'm not the best. And two, if I entered, it would make it biased. I'm not doing that. So this is all on you. So just to point that out as well. This is the only test I've ever heard that'll be this way. There might have been others, but they were done by magazines or somebody, and someone's always trying to make it a buck. Which I guess I'm not making a buck on this. I'll lose my ass. But at least it'll make for good viewing. So Spread the word to every camshaft salesman. That's what I was trying to get at. Even if, as you're watching this, you're like, I think this guy hates me and he's gonna make me look bad. No, I'm not. If I could figure out the live feed, I'll even set it up so you can see the live changing of it and live on the dyno so you can see what's going on as well. I haven't figured that out. I can't even do live on YouTube because I guess I gotta do something else first. Otherwise I would have done it for several of the dyno sessions. But anyway, yeah, I'm not, even if I despise your company, because there's one camshaft company for sure that if I won't sell you a set of heads, any of my heads, stock, ported, none of it, if you run that brand of camshaft. That one they can enter. So if you're an internet sales cam company, I think people know who I'm talking about, you can enter. If you're a guy that, I'm a camshaft guru, I know everything there is to know on the internet, and I've got a YouTube page and I explain everything that no one ever told you about, send it. Put your, don't talk about it, be about it. Be about it. This is your chance. So now I'm going to give you all the specs so you can pick out the best one. By the way, I know I'm making it kind of long into this video. My prediction is I will get no less than two. I will probably only get 2 camshafts that come. You might say, why? Because they ain't got no balls. You know, they ain't. I'm being honest. I will be shocked if either BTR or Texas Speed might actually, because I've probably sold more of their TH2 camshafts by accident than anything else. But I'd be surprised if any of the manufacturers do. And you're like, why? Because they'll claim, oh, it's going to be biased. He's going to make us look bad or something. Because they got stuff to lose. Proving your point is much harder. So it's easy to be like, claim to be the best than to actually be the best. I don't know. Besides, this is exactly one test. They'll claim that too, and that's a valid point. But I'm thinking I'll probably get, if I had to guess, probably 2 viewers think they're really good. And I don't insult, and it sounds like I'm insulting them. There really are great camshaft people that no one knows about. Just like there's great head porters that no one knows about, and I've said this before. But like major companies where they have to pay for employees, they need the sales. So they gotta look good by not looking good. So anyway, that's kind of my prediction. I would love to see at least 10 and all the name people show up like Cammotion, LSM. Both those are good, by the way. Mike Jones, he's a good guy too. Yeah, maybe David Vizard so he could prove the formula. I'm probably gonna text him too here in a second. But yeah, I would like to. But anyway, let's get to the specs so you can pick out the right one. Here are the flow numbers for the heads that will be used. These heads are the Pro Max, and these are the large or the medium bore made for the LS3 heads. And I'll be using a Super Victor intake manifold probably at that point, and a 1000 CFM 4150 carburetor. It will have an AFR tapered spacer probably on it at that point. Not that I think it will matter. Whatever that intake is, it'll be the same one for every single one that's tested. Probably the Super Victor, and like I said, not port match, just stock. This is the head flow, and you can kind of scroll across. So if you're a camshaft guy, you can stop and pause and look. This is from the Signs bench. I'll give you flow numbers from both. So this is the Signs 680. This is flowed on a 4030 bore. It does not have an exhaust pipe that was flowed with. This is its final version that it was at. So you can see right there. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there so you can look. Now, that was on the Signs. I did float on my Superflow 750 too. This is the flow numbers on the Superflow 750. Okay, again, same bore, no exhaust pipe. Here are the swirl numbers from it. And this is where it gets more. These are all the measurements for the head, and I'll go through some of them with you. This right here, this would be the apex of the short side. This being the floor velocities measured with the pitot 2. So center of the floor, left, right. Left, right. And that's at 600 valve lift. This is at the very center of the pushrod pinch. That's the velocity right there in the center at the 600 valve lift as well. You have your two 165 by 1600 exhaust valve. The cc's of the intake runner is 262. It's 5.5 inches long. These are the measurements for the port inside. So it's got a throat percent of 90.7. And you can see the bowl percent's 97.6. And then you have your cross section at the over the short side, 3.34. The pinch is 3.05. And exhaust, it's 3.375 long. Throat's 1.4. You can look at that. It's 104 cc's. The compression ratio, because it's got a 67 cc chamber, is 11.45. The intake valve weighs 124.8 grams and the exhaust weighs 94.2. Like I said, this is more information than a customer would ever give you. The headers, by the way, are 1 3/4. They're a chassis header. I believe they fit a Camaro or are supposed to. They have a 3.5-inch collector. That should be enough information for you to spec a camshaft, I would hope. Best of luck to you. Don't talk about it, be about it. Chance for the hundo. Best of luck. Grow a pair.